All right, my name is Aaron Orlando. I'm a Revelstoke City Councillor. I'm working here with David, who's behind the camera, to do our 5-minute council report. Thanks, David, for letting us do this. I thought about what the big issue is this week, this month in the community, and I'd probably have to say the Mount Macpherson logging issue. I attended the open house about a month and a half ago at the community center and sort of got to talk to a lot of people and see the presentation there. The rest of council unfortunately couldn't attend. We literally had a 9-hour meeting and they had to stay on, and I came across to it. I know many of them would have liked to be there. It's a really complicated issue. As most people know, the Mount Macpherson trails are outside city limits, so City Council doesn't have the ability to enforce land use planning outside of city limits. Having said that, I personally and other members of council have been talking with Lonnie Parker, the area director, and it's been a great relationship working with her. What we've been doing along with the mayor is going out and talking with the stakeholders there and trying to work towards a solution. We were out talking to BC Timber Sales, which is sort of the main forestry group there. And we're going to continue to engage with recreation users as well as forest entities. Myself, I'm a board member on the Revelstoke Community Forest Corporation, which is owned by the city of Revelstoke. It's our community forest thing. And that it's been good working with the staff there to try and take a look at some of the options. But I think right now, I see the petition that's online, for example. I think it was 1,100 signatures a day or two ago, and that speaks really loudly to council, as do letters to council about this issue. But for me, the real challenge is, like, where do you go with it? There's not a one thing that you do, and City Council as an entity only has so much leverage. We're one party within many parties who need to be consulted and worked on in good faith on this issue to try and find something that's acceptable to the community. And I guess that's really my challenge to all of the groups out there is what sort of solution to the problem would you like to see? Myself, I'm a big supporter of the forest industry, as is almost everyone in this community, as are, if you read through the voices in the online petition regarding logging, they will say one of the things they preface this with is, hey, we're big supporters of forestry, but we have a recreation area that's of really high value, and so let's try and work together on a better way of doing this. And just to go back to history from 30 or 40 years ago, it really was the BC Forest Service, when they used to have a recreation branch, that created those trails, and many of the people who work over at the Ministry of Forest office in the Big Eddy have been on the board of the cycling clubs and the Nordic ski clubs, and have been working to create these things. But now that it's become so popular and such a driver, I think as a community we're at a point where we go, well, now what are we going to do, and what's the solution to having a better balance out there? I think there's many things on the table, up to people talk about better land use planning and better consultation. Another option is better communication. Just making sure people have ways to express their views on things. Other options that have been expressed are a community forest. RCFC oversees a community forest that started in probably 2000, I can't remember the exact year, somewhere in there. However, RCF, the Revelstoke Community Forest Corporation, was a pioneer in BC, and we went out and bought our own tenure to create our own community forest. After that, in the mid-2000s, the BC government rolled out a community forest plan where essentially they granted communities a community forest under their own licensing plan. I think there's an option, or at least an argument to be made from council's sake, that if we so choose, and we haven't really hashed through this issue as a council, I'm just speaking as an individual councillor, an option to explore whether the Minister of Forests would be interested in exploring community forest for us. And then within both volume and area-based tenures, there's a whole bunch of different management planning and recreation consultation. It's really complicated, but basically you can say we need to have this and this plan and this consultation plan within the thing. But I think fortunately on this issue, the cut block next to the Nordic Lodge, as well as the one a bit north over on TNT Trails, they're going through consultation through, and BCTS has said, through the fall, and their plan, if it goes the way it's proposed right now, is to not log until 2016. So I think we as a community have an opportunity to engage on this, and if this isn't going to work for us, to come up with a better solution. But I personally want to hear everyone's ideas about how they move forward, and I think really right now is where we're making that omelet, and we're getting people together, getting their ideas, and trying to find something better. One thing that I've communicated to other members of council is we have to do this right. I mean, this issue has controversy and problem written all over it if we handle it the wrong way, and if everyone involved handles it the wrong way. I think the way forward is to try and be inclusive and build partnerships. And that's talking about the Macpherson logging issue, which is the latest one. I can see out the window there the cut blocks on Boulder that came about several years ago as a result of beetle infestation, and over at Begbie Falls there's been controversies over the years. I think also as a city, maybe this is a prompt to engage a little bit better on land use areas in the greater Revelstoke region, whatever you want to call that. I know that there's concern that Forest Service roads are going to be decommissioned, leading to popular rec areas like Frisbee and McRae. And don't quote me on that, these are sort of early stage things we're hearing. But we have a big recreation resource that's growing, I hate to say exponentially, a lot in the coming years, and we need to better factor that in on the way forward. David's indicating we're running up on our 5 minutes, so I encourage everyone to come and talk to council, write a letter in, express your view, come get in touch with us on this issue and other issues, and I really do think as a community we can move forward. And a lot of this stuff is my view. As a council, we haven't made up our mind. We're still working it out together, and there's fortunately some time to work on these issues, and I invite you all to get involved. My name is Aaron Orlando. I'm a city councillor, and thank you very much, David, for letting me do this.